Hello everyone, welcome to the Week 15 breakdown and recap. It's been a while since I made a video. If you even care to know, I just kind of lost a little bit of interest. My team is horrible. My team is so bad. It is so bad this year. I hate watching my team play football. But the Ravens have admittedly been a disappointing team this year. But I don't know. I've kind of come back with a new light, a new gift of football knowledge, I would say. More of a casual look. Maybe looking at it from more of a perspective of I'm just happy to watch football rather than stress about it every week. So let's get into it. Buccaneers, Falcons. This was a game that the Buccaneers needed to win. I think they definitely needed to win this game. It's division. It helps their record. It gives them a lead against the Panthers, who have been pretty good this year. And how did this game go? Well, the game was very close, and Kirk Cousins played pretty darn good. I don't know what's up with Kirk Cousins. He's been pretty bad this year. Injuries, old age, you know how it is. But for some reason, this man turns it on, primed him against the Buccaneers every single year, and it works, and it's great. And Kirk Cousins still has life left in him. Maybe he should come back for another year. No, don't come back. This is your last year, buddy. Don't come back. Last year. I want to say this. This was one of the worst choke games of the year. Now, when I say that, you may think, oh, it's only a 14-point comeback. But listen when I say this. The Buccaneers are a playoff team. They're 7-6. They have a pretty good defense and an offense that's been pretty good, but is struggling as of recently. They're up 28-14 with 9 minutes left against the Falcons. Now, again, 14-point lead in the fourth quarter is not the craziest comeback, but let me tell you this right now, okay? Kirk Cousins has been playing terrible this year. Horrendous, some would say. And this man dimed up a nice drive for a touchdown. The Bucs get the ball back, fail to do anything, punted. They drive down for another touchdown. Again, the Buccaneers defense is not a slouch defense. It's been pretty solid this year, but they go for two, don't get it down two. The Bucs to close the game cannot get a first down. Cannot do it against the Falcons. The Falcons get the ball back, and the Buccaneers actually clutch on defense, make it a 3rd and 28. They get a 14-yard pickup, and on 4th and 14, Kirk Cousins passes to this guy named Ellis. He's probably like a 5th or 6th string receiver. A great catch by him. Cousins got hit when he threw the ball, I believe, as well. First down, they get a field goal, they win. Insane. One of the biggest choke games of the year. I'll tell you why. 14-point lead comeback against a washed Kirk Cousins against a dead Atlanta team who took 20 penalties, and they won. The Buccaneers took 3. For a team that is home, is much better record, has a 14-point lead. Wash quarterback has 17. It is so absurd when I say it. They had 17 less penalties than the Atlanta Falcons, and they lost. They still managed to lose this game somehow. That is a monumental choke job by the Buccaneers. And the funny thing is that they're not out of their division by any means. They got to face the Panthers twice. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers just lose to the Saints this week. And they're both 7-7. Gearing up for one of the worst division winners of all time. I know we say that every year with the NFC South. This year might be like a 7-10 win team making the playoffs. It could be that bad. Let's get on to the first Sunday game. Eagles versus Raiders. This game was a very boring game. A win's a win for the Eagles right now. They've had a rough stretch of 3 games in a row they've lost. It gets them on the right track. But honestly, I don't really care for it. I'm not buying it. Barkley does not look like the same running back he did last year. Maybe he was so burnt out last year, he's not the same. I don't know, but I don't like the way he looks this year. Something about him, he's not reading the holes the right way. He's not as explosive. Age is catching up to him. Maybe he's washed. I don't know. Pete Carroll, though, for the Raiders, he has to be gone. I know it's one season, but with the amount of talent this team has, 2-12 is not going to cut it. If they were like 5-9, I could understand them keeping him. But 2-12? Come on now. Let's be real. This team beat the Patriots, by the way. Remember that? Bengals-Ravens. All right. The Ravens shut out the Bengals. Are they back? Are they making a run? No! That's right. Me as a Ravens fan know this is a mirage of a game. Have you been watching this team this year, Ravens fans? And I'm one too. I'm one of you. I'm just being real right now. Have you watched them? Did you not just see them play bad defense against the Steelers last week? Did they not just allow 30 points against the Bengals? Yeah, they shut them out. This game was very misleading. The Bengals drove pretty far in each drive, but it always led to Zach Taylor doing a boneheaded move by trying to go for it on 4th down when he doesn't need to, or Joe Burrow just forcing a ball he doesn't need to. I'm happy they won, obviously. It keeps our playoff hopes alive, which is going to be nothing. If we make the playoffs, we're 1 and done. Well, there's no way around it. We're 1 and done. The O-line sucks. Lamar Jackson is still playing hurt. Not very fully keen on unleashing Derrick Henry as much, which is fine because Keaton Mitchell's been playing well. This game probably should have been a lot closer than it was. I'm not buying it. The defense is still mid. It's not very good. don't be fooled. We're 7-7. We're facing the Patriots and Packers next. We're screwed. We're basically screwed. But you know what? Maybe we'll live in a fantasy world for next week. This game was awesome. The AFC East division just got a whole lot more interesting because the Patriots have been steamrolling it, facing easy competition. But the Bills have rallied back, beat them, and only one game behind. Josh Allen and the Bills mounted a 21-point comeback against the Patriots in New England, and they did it with barely into the fourth quarter. That is an impressive-ass win, and dare I say Josh Allen should be back in the MVP combo. Obviously, last year people thought, like, should he have won it? 50-50 chance, maybe he shouldn't have, but this year he's playing damn good. One of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 3 right now. Is he going to get over Stafford or May? Probably not, but he could very well do it if they win the division. Drake May, I expected more. He's been playing very good. He had a decent game. The stats don't show it, but he had a decent game. A few rushing touchdowns, some good throws, but I expected a little more clutch factor, a little more from him, especially listen, they had a 21-point lead. I mean, come on. What are we doing out here? But, they've won, how many in a row? 10 in a row? They were due for a loss. Trevin Henderson is a stud. I don't know what he did to Mike Vrabel in the first half of this year to piss him off. Did he rub him the wrong way? Did he piss him off? Maybe give him a sneak tickle that just did not go well and made him benched for the first half year? I don't know. But what I do know is the Bills are a game behind. Are they going to win the division? Probably not. The Patriots look at easy schedule. Texans-Cardinals. Stroud looked sharp. He looked very good today. I would say this is probably his best game he's played all year. The Texans' defense took a bit of a step back today with a 20-point game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals scored 3 touchdowns. But don't be fooled. This is still the best defense in the league. And man, if this offense for the Texans plays fine, not horrible, not good, but just plays decent, they could be a dangerous team if they get to the playoffs this year. And you never know, man. Obviously, you need more offense in a game this year. You can't just purely rely on a defense to win you the Super Bowl in today's age. But if their offense played like it did today, it could be dangerous. But DeMeco Ryans' defensive ways are magic. No one does a better blitzkrieg than DeMeco Ryans. Dude's an absolute madman. Insane in the head, some would say. It's funny because, Ryan seems like such a chill guy on camera when you see him on the field. But I know this man is a freak of nature in the locker room. I can't prove it, but I know he is. He gets those guys pumped. What a disappointing game. This game could have turned out really fun, but it was just really boring. Terrible throws. Terrible decisions. And honestly, it should have been a Jackson Dart highlight reel game, but it really wasn't. Dart played okay, but this is Washington. They're horrible. The Giants have been competitive with a lot of teams this year, but this game, they just didn't do it. Dart made a lot of questionable throws. Again, this is supposed to be the time where, he's killing it. You know what I mean? Washington Commanders, Week 15. Just didn't happen. They got bailed out heavily by the defense, but it still wasn't enough, and Washington just won the game in a boring slog fest. Terrible stuff, you ask me. The Bears bounced back with a win against the Cleveland Browns, channeling their New England Patriots. The Bears are the NFC version of the New England Patriots, and you can't prove me wrong. They both got a year 2 quarterback who's playing pretty good. May's playing a lot better than Williams, but fair enough. New head coach, double-digit wins, a lot of easy victories, can't beat really good teams. It is what it is, man. It's improvement. I'm not going to fault them for facing bad teams. They're beating them, so that's that. They could be losing to them. It could be a lot worse. Caleb Williams played good again. I do think Caleb Williams is not as good as a quarterback as Drake May or Jane Daniels, but he is good. I think he is a good quarterback. He's been playing better each and every week. I thought he played pretty good in that second half against the Packers, and he beat the Browns. The Browns' defense is pretty good, but not that impressive win. I was just hoping to see Myles Garrett get that sack record. My opinion on Myles Garrett has completely changed. I used to be like, whatever, but I like him. I think he's a good guy. He's my favorite jacked weeb in the NFL, and he's at 21.5 sacks. He is 1.5 sacks away from breaking the record, and I hope he does it because it'd be fun to see a new record come up. And it'd also be funny for him to have the record and not TJ Watt, and the Steelers fans can get mad.
Boku no hidari wa Gojira desu. Migi wa Kaiju o desu yo.
Be honest. Did you really think Trevor Lawrence was going to play this good? Obviously, we know it's the Jets, but did you think he was throwing 5 touchdown passes and rushing for 1? He had 6 today. Listen, again, it's the Jets. They're horrible, but Trevor Lawrence played pretty damn good. I don't expect him to do this to any team. Even the worst teams in the league, I don't expect Trevor Lawrence to do this. I expect 210 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 20-15 victory for the Jaguars. That's what I expect. He played freaking amazing today. Has to be a player of the week. I know it's the Jets, But give him, throw him a bone. He's had a rough year. Trevor Lawrence. Their team's good, but he's had a rough year. So throw him a bone, you know? He's played pretty good. And now we get to the funeral game at 1 o'clock. The Los Angeles Chargers have eliminated the Kansas City Chiefs in week 15. Patrick Mahomes, in the wildest way possible, the first time he gets knocked out that's not in the AFC Championship game, isn't in a divisional round game, isn't in a wildcard game. It is in week 15 of the NFL season. There is still 3 weeks left, and they are out. That is insane. For sure, people thought his first time going to be out of there is going to be the divisional wildcard. Maybe, if you're stretching it, week 18. No, week 15. He's out of there. He got hurt, admittedly. And I'll be honest, this is not his fault. This team's collapse is not his fault. He's tried his best. The O-line is banged up the crap. The run game is mid. Travis Kelce, pretty washed. You can look at his stats all you want, and Andy Reid could draw up his little schemes to get him yards. When that guy is in open space playing football, he is not the same player. And he has shown it week in and week out with bad drops and lackluster run routes. It just is what it is, man. He's probably going to hang it up. Mahomes, though, I feel bad for him. But at the same time, this guy's won 3 Super Bowls. He'll be fine. They'll bounce back in next year, probably. But man, the Chargers could win the division. They could very well win this division. It's insane. You know, tip of the cap, they got their backs blown out in the Super Bowl. And now they're 6-8 out of the playoff spot. Life comes at you fast, Chiefs fans, you bunch of Welp. Who would have thought that happened? The Carolina Panthers have an easy chance to take a 1-game lead on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they squash it by losing to the New Orleans Saints. Well, I don't know what to say about this, except for I'm not surprised at all. After they lost to the Falcons on Thursday night, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I was thinking the Carolina Panthers they're going to lose. They're going to lose to the Saints. And they did. Unfortunately for the Saints, if they lost one less game, they would have a chance at winning the division because I'm seeing the next 3 games. I think they're going to win the next 3 games. Tyler Shuck has looked like a pretty solid quarterback, honestly. And I think with this system and with Kellen Moore, I think this team could be pretty good next year. Honestly, like the NFC South is horrible. Like, let's be for real right here. If he develops more, they get some more pieces, this team could be a playoff team next year. Unfortunately, this year they lost just 1 too many games, and they can't do it. And the Carolina Panthers, they're going to face the Buccaneers twice. So this game didn't really matter that much, but at the same time, come on, guys, let's be for real. Okay, Cam Ward has gotten better each and every week. Of course, the Titans are a horrible team, and they're not going to do anything this year. But Cam Ward has steadily gotten better each and every week. It took him about halfway through the season to start, locking in and start playing like an NFL quarterback. But he's doing it very well right now. Now, the Niners are on a hot streak. They're 10-4 right now. And it's unfortunate because the Niners are probably not winning the division. They're going to finish as the 6th seed, maybe 7th seed, which is insane for a team that's going to finish with probably 12 wins, maybe 13 wins. Wow. That is nuts. But I will say this, Robert Saleh is got to be the best defensive coordinator in the league with all the injuries they have and how they continue to play great defensively. It's insane, and it's the next man up mentality, and he's always been this good. And I think, honestly, the Jets downgraded a head coach when they got rid of him and put up Aaron Glenn. Not to say that Robert Saleh was a good head coach, because he wasn't, but defensively, much better than Aaron Glenn. I don't really think it matters if the Niners have home field advantage or not in the playoffs. They're going to be good regardless. We've seen Kyle Shanahan do it before. We've seen him win playoff games on the road. I think they can do it again. Oh, this is a fun back and forth. Lions-Rams games ever since the trade between Jared Goff and Matt Stafford have been bangers. There's been 4 or 5 of them. They've all been great, close games. And this game was really, really fun. I love when teams trade off 10-point leads back and forth. It's a very unique way to watch a game because obviously you watch games times where it's like a touchdown. But seeing both teams get 10-point leads, it's just a fun way to watch a game, if you ask me. Last year we had the Rams-Bills and Lions-Bills, which were 2 great games that I had a lot of fun with. But the unfortunate part about the Lions is that their injuries have caught up to them. They're very basic on their offense. If you look at how they're passing, Jared Goff passed to Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that was it. I'm not sure he passed to any other receiver besides those 2 guys. Sam Laporta being out hurts, even Brock Wright being out hurts this team. But the Rams are just a stacked team, man, and you got to keep scoring on them. You got to stop them. You can't, because they will keep coming at you with their team is stupid loaded with talent. Puka Nacua got hurt, which is damn unfortunate. I'm not sure what the injury is or how long he's going to be out or if he's going to be out, but hopefully he's fine. The Lions, unfortunately, they're a great team. They're 8-6. They could very well finish 11-6, but I don't think 11-6 is getting you in the playoffs this year, which is damn unfortunate because 11 wins should almost 100% of the time get you in the playoffs. But this year, unfortunately, is stacked to the bone with talent, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Unfortunate for them. I salute you, Dan Campbell. You've done your best, but this year is just not your guys' year. Let me just say this first, okay? I applaud Philip Rivers because no matter what happened in yesterday's game, if the Colts won, if the Colts lost, if Philip Rivers looked horrible, looks great, it was going to be amazing. And how did he look? He looked fine. He looked okay. And you know what? That's awesome. I'm happy to see Philip Rivers play in 2025 and play a decent game against a top 5 defense where he actually made some decent plays. Like, believe it or not, he made some decent plays. And he took some hits. So I applaud Philip Rivers. He did his damn best. He got them in the lead to win. They didn't win. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, the Colts season is pretty much over. And just seeing Philip Rivers out there one last time is just so much fun. It's awesome. Full respect to Philip Rivers. I love him. I just love watching this guy play. Unfortunate that he never got to win a Super Bowl, but you know what? Got to see him play in 2025 and throw a touchdown pass. So there's that. The Seahawks kicked 8 field goals. They didn't score a single touchdown. The Colts defense locked in until the last drive, where I really thought they folded pretty bad. They broke in the very last drive, which is unfortunate because I wanted to see the freaking Colts win with Philip Rivers, but they didn't. But you know what? I can't be mad. Like, if you're a Colts fan, I understand you're mad, but as a fan, it is what it is. It was a fun time. Just gotta enjoy these moments. I don't want to sugarcoat this, but the Packers are probably done. Micah Parsons being out, I think he tore his ACL. Not sure, but he is out for the season. That's a huge blow. This defense is going to get much, much worse, and we saw it in the game against Denver. They had a 9-point lead. Once Micah Parsons went out, the Broncos' offense exploded with points. And unfortunately, that's how big of a deal Micah Parsons is. I don't think anyone realizes why the Cowboys getting rid of him was such a stupid idea. Have you seen how bad the Cowboys' defense is this year? Yes, even with Quentin Williams, it's still pretty bad. Who would have thought getting rid of one of the best players in the league would do that to your defense? But it's unfortunate because this game was very good. It was very close. The Packers were in control, and then all of a sudden the Broncos just exploded with points. Bo Nix looked really good. Like, there's no way around it, man. He looked great. He looked great. I'm not the biggest Bo Nix fan, but the guy was slinging the ball. He was getting it down, and the Packers still have an okay defense without Micah Parsons. It's not that great without him, but it's still not bad. I hate to say it, man, but like without Micah Parsons on the defense, their chances go from like, say like they had a 50% chance to win the Super Bowl, it goes to like 10%, man. It drops significantly. If you're not going to stop them on defense, man, it's pretty much over, especially how stacked the NFC is this year. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And now the Broncos are the 1 seed, and they control their destiny. The Broncos might finish as the 1 seed. Good God. Well, color me surprised. The J.J. McCarthy show drives into Dallas, and he kicks the Dallas Cowboys' ass. I don't know what to think of J.J. McCarthy. 1 week, he looks absolutely abysmal, and you think, how is this guy in the NFL? And the next week, you're like, this guy's pretty good. And you know what? Back-to-back weeks, J.J. McCarthy has outplayed Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott. Back-to-back weeks, that is pretty good and impressive for a young quarterback. Now, do I think J.J. McCarthy is going to turn it all around next year and be great? I don't know. Because for some reason, this guy, even when he plays good, just does not throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. He has zero chemistry with him. He has pretty good chemistry with Jordan Addison, which is good, and Jalen Naylor, but him and Jefferson just don't click. And it kind of reminds me of Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray, which is not a good thing. You don't want that. That talented receiver having no chemistry with your young quarterback, it's going to end badly, and I think they need to fix that ASAP. But I will say this about the frickin' Vikings. They're clicking now. I think McCarthy's getting better, and I think he's going to be better next year. Obviously, they can't make the playoffs this year because they lost too many games, and he called himself 9, which was very cringe. But that's what happened. The Cowboys could have used a good pass rusher this week. I don't know who they could have used, but they could have used a guy who can get that pass rush and make the defense explosive. Just a thought. George Pickens is peaking at the same time he did last year, as in December, where he looks absolutely checked out and doesn't want to be there. And oh, look at that. His last 2 games have not looked good. It's looking about that time again. Why does this happen? He's such a good receiver. Why does it happen every year? I don't know. But you know what? The Cowboys season is over. If the Cowboys won this game, it didn't really matter, because even if they won out, they were not making the playoffs. The NFC is so tight that the Lions are going to get 11 wins, and they're going to miss the playoffs. So it didn't really matter, but it is funny to think that J.D. McCarthy did eliminate the Cowboys in the playoffs. So, it's funny. But that is it for this week of football. I'm happy to make a video again. I had more motivation to do it this time, and I had fun watching football this week. Well, that's it for me, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week, and see you later.